Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of The Streets of Gold. I'm excited as usual to talk about all things 49ers. I'm excited to get into some of the headlines that went on today, and we are exactly, it's the last Thursday before the NFL draft, and honestly, how can you not be excited? We are at the stage where it's like today's the last Thursday before the draft. Tomorrow's going to be the last Friday before the draft. And then so on and so forth. And then before you know it, a week from today, we will be awaiting that number 3 overall pick and the other picks that the 49ers are going to make in the 2021 NFL draft. It is so much to look forward to. And now in just a short period of time. So everything that we've been talking about, everything that I have gone over, I'm just going to keep on reiterating it until the draft happens. I think that the main subject of the day today is going to be another free agent signing that Kyle and the team and John, they made a great deal today. And I'm extremely excited about this signing. And as a 49ers fan, you should be too. The 49ers today locked up Maurice Hurst. I'm telling you, he's another guy off the Raiders team that didn't succeed in Vegas, and but honestly, full of talent, like another guy like Arden Key. These are two very young, promising players that just, I don't think that they were in the environment where they could have thrived. I know that I'm biased. Maybe I'm feeling a certain way because they're in 49er uniforms. All of a sudden they're superstars. That's not really the case here. These guys were studs coming out of college. Hurst, as if you remember, fell in the draft because of a heart condition. So, I truly believe that the opportunity is going to come for both of these guys to shine and both of these guys to showcase the talent that everyone saw pre-draft. So, this is a really big deal. I really wanted to come on today. I wasn't really going to make an episode today and talk about anything, but I felt it was necessary because these moves that the 49ers are making, they're not insignificant. They actually bear a lot of meaning. They are moves that are going to change the outlook of the draft for the 49ers, because when you go into a draft, I believe truly that you're supposed to address your needs in free agency, and then the draft is a supplement to your roster. And really the best way to approach the draft is to be able to pick the best player available. And so I think the 49ers are in the position to do that now. They have now selected Arden Key and Maurice Hurst in free agency, which brings them their D-line room right now. I had it written down here. Their D-line room right now. Okay, so their defensive ends are going to be Bosa, Armstead, D Ford, Arden Key, Samson Ebukam, Kentavious Street's a tackle. But I think there's another D end that I'm missing. But either way, so altogether we're looking at Bosa, Armstead, Kinlaw, DJ Jones, Ford, Arden Key, Maurice Hurst, Ebukam, Zach Kerr, Givens and Kentavious Street. I'm telling you, those guys are going to come in waves. That is a young, hungry, dangerous group of guys. Kerr's underrated, man. Look at his PFF rating last year when he was in Carolina. He was disruptive inside, and he's a big guy that's going to get in there. We have depth at that position now, and it's a position in the draft that didn't really hold a ton of talent. I think the D-line in this draft, particularly, these moves make me believe that the 49ers felt that adding these guys in free agency is going to be just as valuable, if not more valuable, than picking up guys in the draft. Now you have guys that have NFL experience already. They have the size, they have a feel of the league, and they're still young. Arden Key's 24, Maurice Hurst is 25. They're entering the prime of their career now, so I think that this is going to be a great window for them to shine with San Francisco this year, prove that they're worthy of an extension, and hopefully we can land one of these guys long term. In fact, it would be great if both worked out. So as Solomon Thomas leaves, we gain two guys. Like, we kind of like swapped two D linemen with the Raiders. We gave them our third overall pick, which I believe was a bust. And or he just got outplayed because our D-line was so talented. There was just no room for Solly. And now he's going to go to Oakland, and maybe he'll be a star there because they suck. Sorry. I mean, they're not very good. So the thing is that these guys are going to come over, and I think they're going to thrive because they're going to be surrounded. Kusarek, man, this is a guy that is going to get production out of his defensive lineman. I look at what he did last year with Kerry Hyder. Like, I'm telling you, I would be shocked if Hyder has a year like that in Seattle. I know it's not going to happen. So I just think that Key and Hurst in on our D-line with our guys, with Bosa and Kinlaw and Armstead lined up next to you, I think it's going to bring out the best of you. So they may benefit from the talent around them is all I'm saying. So the other thing is our roster is getting pretty filled. Like, there's not a lot of holes and not a lot of places where we need to fill these holes. So I want to kind of dig into that and dive into what that looks like on draft night, because I think the 49ers, I think the 49ers are in prime position to move up in the draft, maybe even twice. I'm thinking that they can make a move back into the end of round one, draft a corner that they love, because I think there's going to be a really good one there. And I think his name's going to be Caleb Farley. And I have a feeling he might fall. He might fall into the 20s. And if we can jump into the 20s, give away 43, give away 102, and give away one of our 5th round picks, I think that we can get it done. I think we can get into late one, and who knows, maybe Jimmy gets packaged. Depending on the QB that we pick, Jimmy could get packaged into a deal somewhere and yield us a second. And that way we can flip 2 seconds to move into one. And I think that we can also consolidate another 5th and a 7th in a 4th to move up. So a 4th, a 6th, and a 7th, and a 5th to move back up into round 3. I think we only need to draft 5 players at the very most. So a QB, a corner, a safety, a wide receiver, and an interior offensive lineman. So I think there's going to be the ability to consolidate picks and get 5 solid guys that are going to be potential starters in the future, and hopefully we hit on 3 of the 5. And I think if we move up and we know who we want, we're going to be in a position to get some really good talent. So, I don't have tons to talk about today. I really wanted to jump on here, talk about the signing of Mo Hurst, talk about the fact that our defense is going to be strong again, talk about the fact that we are going to find the quarterback of our future. Our roster is starting to fill out, and it's starting to look really good. I'm excited about the wide receivers room. I think Jalen Hurd is going to make a comeback and be an impact player, but it wouldn't surprise me if the 49ers did draft a wide receiver in the middle rounds. I think there's a few guys that are going to be good. This is a really good draft for secondary players and wide receivers and interior offensive linemen. So I think that there's a lot of that, and those happen to be, I think at this point, our biggest needs that we need to kind of go after. I mean, we have Ayuk, Debo. I think Travis Benjamin can play out of the slot. I think Mo Sanu is going to be a valuable vet. And so I'm not too concerned about our wide receivers room, but adding another body, it's not going to hurt. So I would go and try to get a guy potentially and try to get a really good corner. If we can get a good lockdown corner, I think it would bode well for us because I don't know what's going to happen with Verrett after this year. I think that if he plays really well, he could get a small extension again. But again, he's going to be 30. He's got a bad injury history. It's just very risky. So I think that we can probably make a move. I think we can make a move for a corner. Kelvin Joseph, Kentucky CB. That's a guy that we could target. Benjamin St. Juste, that's another target. Big, tall kind of guy. A lot of Sherman. Looks like Richard Sherman when he's out there, Like, that's what we need. I wish Sherman would come back. I know that he's past his prime, but he fits our scheme. And I think that he brings a presence on the back end. So it wouldn't be a bad signing to bring him back, I don't think. Something on the vet minimum. I think at this point in his career, he's made his money. I think he should come back and play for a contender. I think we're going to be a contender. I think that's what he's looking for. I think we can provide that for him. So, these are the types of things I'm thinking about. How can we really just get that one or two really solid guys? Get that guy that's a center that can play guard and then transition back into center when Alex Mack leaves. Maybe we pick a guy like that. And getting one more offensive weapon. I don't know who that is or what it looks like. I think that if Rondell Moore is there at 43, you have to draft him. He's a weapon, someone that would do really well on our offense. But yeah, like these are the types of players. A really good corner, someone that can play CB. I mean, Witherspoon was supposed to be that guy, and he just never played consistently well. That was his biggest knock. It wasn't that he didn't have the talent or the skill set. It's the consistency, right? Like, a lot of guys come into the league and they can perform at a high level, but can they do it week in and week out? And I think that's what separates the elite players and the guys that are just pedestrian mediocre, right? Like, flashy guys are cool, but we want rock solid. We want a guy that's going to come in every single day, put in the work, study film, know his role, and then know how to lock down his guy on Sunday, right? And then get out there and execute, right? Like, it's something that Sherman always brought to the table, He wasn't the fastest, wasn't the flashiest, but man, he executed every week. Like, towards the end, yeah, you know what? He had some blow-up plays where he got beat deep or there was coverage miscommunications and such. But you know what? The guy, honestly, he really played sound football. And I can attest to watching a lot of Richard Sherman, even when he was in Seattle. Like, unbelievable player, great career. I hope he finishes it as a 49er. He deserves it to go out in the red and gold. But no matter what, we wish Sherm the best. So, I don't know if you guys got any questions. Send them in. Remember, you gotta subscribe. You gotta give me the likes. You gotta get on this page with me here so we can ride on into the sunset together and watch these 49ers take over the league. This is years to come. I'm going to keep on talking Niners. I'm going to keep on talking football. It's my passion. It's what I love. I'm excited. I hope we draft a guy that at number 3 that can do something that's out of the norm. Everyone keeps talking about Mac Jones and Mac Jones being the system fit and Mac Jones being the guy. He's athletic in his own way, and I'm not doubting any of that, but it's a lot of capital. We gave up 3. Okay, like, I don't look at it as 3 first-round picks. We're still picking in the first round this year, so we swapped firsts this year, okay? So we swapped firsts. We move up to 3. They get 12. All right. And then we give away 2 first rounders and a third. So the way I look at it is we gave away 2 first round picks and 1 third round pick to move up. That's it. That's the way that I look at it. The whole 3 first rounders and more for a guy that you don't even know. Like, I just don't like the way that's worded. I think it's just like logically it makes more sense to say, yeah, like did we give up our first rounder this year? Yeah, we did, but what did we get? We got a first rounder. So it's 1-for-1. So they cross each other out. So next year and the year after, yeah, that's 2 firsts. So 2 firsts and a third, even though it was a comp pick, right? So a freebie. I don't know. I don't know if you go up to get Mac Jones, you're safe bet. Everyone's talking about Mike Shanahan having input, influencing Kyle's decision of what they like in a quarterback. And Mike liked Elway, right? Like, he coached John Elway, and John Elway was not just your pocket quarterback. He was exceptional, right? He did everything well. And so I think there's 2 guys in this draft that will be on the board for us, Trey Lance and Justin Fields. And I think those guys have the ability to be that guy. They can make the throws. They need a year of development, which is apparently what we're doing. But, a lot of people now are saying that Jimmy's going to be traded, shortly after the draft happens and we pick our guy. All of a sudden, you don't give away all of that and move up to 3 and pick the future quarterback to have him sit on the bench. To be honest with you, I don't know what the plan is, and neither do you. We're all guessing. So the fact is that we can speculate all we want, but let's look at it logically and just say, yeah, you know what? We did give up a lot, and we did move up, and we are picking our guy. But maybe our guy needs to sit. Maybe he isn't fully ready to just come in and start week 1. But we won't know that until the guy comes in, goes through camp, and Kyle gets a real feel for him in the offense, because there is a chance that he's ready, and we could move Jimmy before the season starts. But with Nate Sudfeld there, it makes me wonder that maybe they are planning on trading Jimmy on draft day. I don't know. Maybe after they pick their QB, the phone rings and someone offers them a 2nd round pick, and they say, you know what? Fine. We'll give you Jimmy for a 2nd. And now that team can focus on something else in round 1 and not have to try to give away a whole bunch. They get a decent quarterback in Jimmy who can run an offense and can come in right away and be a starter. So, I think that's a possibility, and it gives us an extra 2nd rounder. Don't know how early or late it would be. Hopefully it's somewhere around our other pick. And then if we really want a guy, we can move around, right? Like, we can move up. So lots of options on the table, so much stuff going on 49ers, and it's just draft season, right? Like, you get that fever where like you're all bug-eyed and you're just staring into like every article, just wondering, is there any going to be, keep refreshing my BR over and over. I'm like refreshing it. Is there any news? Like, is there anything happening? No, like, honestly, like, all jokes aside, I'm stoked for this draft, and I can't wait to order that jersey, man, because it doesn't matter what name's called at number 3. That jersey's getting ordered like right away. I don't even know how it's going to be. So I'm interested to know how back ordered that jersey is. It's going to be insane. So make sure you guys have your orders pages ready, because I don't even know how fast or whatever, especially over here in Canada. Like, am I going to be like on the back bottom? I might not even get the jersey by June 8th. I hope I do. My hope is to have it by my birthday, but because it's the 49ers and they're just the greatest franchise ever, and there's so many fans, like, when they draft this quarterback, I think the internet's just gonna blow up, because everyone's gonna be ordering the jersey at the same time. And even if it's Mac Jones, and all the haters of Mac Jones who don't believe in him, I'm not a Mac Jones hater, just because I was talking about some of the stuff that in the past I've said some things, but I love Mac Jones as a QB. I think he's gonna be great in the NFL. But yeah, all the guys who are haters they're trash talking one guy now, as soon as that pick comes in, those guys are going to be rocking those jerseys. That's for sure. So anyways, thanks for joining. It's 20 minutes. Lock it in. Subscribe. like, notifications. Hey, have a good night. Enjoy Niner Nation. Take care.